Hello, and thank you for joining me today for Real Estate with Vision to You. My name is Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with Affordable Homes and Apartments in Williamsville, and I'm also licensed to preach and ordained as a minister. For more information on my real estate books, you can go to AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. For more information on my religious books and products, you can go to HighwayToHeavenChurch.net. And today we're going to talk again about choosing the mortgage is right for you. This is part 3 of a 3-part series, choosing a mortgage that's right for you. Okay? And we were talking last week about down payment, closing cost assistance, and what have you, and the discipline that we're going to need in order to start saving up for that down payment and closing costs that you're going to need. Now, it usually takes about 2 months before the closing takes place. That's after you've actually signed the contract and got the contract approved by the by the seller, and then get a commitment from the lender, and then put your down payment down. Now, a lot of people don't have the money to save up for a down payment. It's in my book, Free Money for Home Buyers. You can actually find money right here in my book, Free Money for Home Buyers. And this book is available on AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. Okay, now this book talks about down payment and closing cost assistance, which is free money, grants, subsidies, and from various state, government, federal, city, county, and local municipalities. Okay, so, and I talk about the entire state of New York. Now, if you're out of the state of New York, then please, you will get my book, and I'll include the website. Okay, I also talk about Section 8 home ownership voucher, how you can buy a home with your Section 8 home ownership voucher. If you're on Section 8 for a year and you're working full time, you can qualify. Also, you can qualify if you're on permanent disability or Social Security. There's also veterans programs that are available that I talk about in here. VA programs. With a veteran, you don't have to put maybe $100 down or nothing at all. If you have had an honorable discharge, you can possibly qualify for a mortgage loan of your own with virtually nothing. You served our country, so why shouldn't you be privileged? Okay, there are various government, state, city, and federal agencies that insure mortgages for people like you and me, low to moderate income individuals and families, so that we can afford to buy that house. A lot of times we don't have 20% to pay down payment. We don't even have 5% sometimes, and that's where the government comes in at, and that's where some state agencies come in at. And I put it all in my book, Free Money for Home Buyers. And if you want to find out about where you can get some free money to buy your next home, get a copy of my book. We also talk about subsidies and grants that can reduce the actual cost of your mortgage. You get a mortgage, say, for $100,000. You're only going to pay $60,000. You might be entitled to a grant for $40,000. So your mortgage is based on $60,000. If you're getting Section 8 to pay for your mortgage, just like they're paying for your rent, you'd be paying about $100 or so for your mortgage every month. Then you got to pay your gas and electric. That's nothing because you have a full-time job. So all of your basic expenses will be covered. And that's a lot to ease your mind. Let me tell you, that will ease your mind definitely. Knowing that your bills are paid and you don't have to worry about a thing, honey. And even if you don't get Section 8, you don't have to be making a lot of money. You could be making minimum wage and still qualify for one of these programs that I can offer you. I would like to encourage each and every one of you to give me a call. Holler at a sister on my website at AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. I also talk about homes that you can buy for $1. Okay, you can buy a home for $1 if you plan on living in it, but you are going to have the money to rehab the house. The advantage of that is that you can say, hey, you might have $5,000 and say, hey, I didn't have to pay nothing but a down for the house, and that $5,000 you was going to buy the house for, then you can take that $5,000 and fix it up. And we left off talking about how to estimate how much your monthly payment was going to be, how to determine whether you qualify for a mortgage today or what you're going to have to do so that you can qualify for a mortgage tomorrow. Take the limits off yourself. Take the limits off, honey. Where you are is not where you're going, and God didn't bring you this far to leave you. Okay? Greater is He that lives within me than he that lives within the world. And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, including buy your own house. Brand new house. Somebody somewhere. I have houses now that qualify under these low-income programs. that I don't own them, but I'm selling them. I'm assisting in the sale. A couple of them in Tonawanda. There's a couple in Buffalo. Some in Cheektowaga. Some are 3 and 4 bedroom houses. Some have 1.5 baths. Brand new everything. New furnace, new windows. Everything was redone from top to bottom. And this will be like your mansion, honey, that you'll be moving into. And it qualifies under the low income program, which means you don't have to be making a lot of money in order to qualify for these homes. I wish I could stress it. I can't stress it enough. But you could be making minimum wage. You could be working at Burger King or even behind a desk, and you could still qualify for a mortgage. I know it may be hard to appear because your bills are probably hard to manage right now. Yes, I understand that, but that's the purpose of buying a home. Okay, get started now in disciplining yourself. Get started now on how to save and eliminate certain expenses that you're not going to need. So you'll be in practice when you get your new home. And you won't have to worry about going into foreclosure. But if you do, I have a book for that also. Help for homeowners facing the loss of your home, which is also available on AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. And I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. Okay, now, how do you decide if you want to pay discount points we were talking about and to lower your interest rate? Fewer discount points and a higher interest rate. First, you should know that you can sometimes negotiate with the seller of a property to pay some of the points on your loan. Second, keep in mind that the discount points that you pay are tax deductible. Okay. Third, realize that you will need more cash at closing if you decide to pay points. And finally, remember that you have to pay for your points all at once, whereas you only pay interest on your loan as long as you have your house. So if you will be living in your house for only a short period of time, you may decide it's preferable not to pay points. Okay, interest rate lock-ins. While you shop for a loan, interest rates can change frequently. So it's important to ask your mortgage lender or even your real estate broker the mortgage lender is the one that's going to offer you the rate lock-in. Okay, this can guarantee you a specified interest rate provided the loan closes within a set period of time. When you apply for your mortgage, you should have a good idea of when you want to close on your home. Okay, if you lock in your period expires before you go to closing, your lender is not obligated to give you the same interest rate you had locked in earlier. So it is important to lock in for a period that will cover the time until your expected closing date, usually 60 days as I mentioned earlier. Okay, locking in a quoted rate when rates are rising may save you thousands of dollars in interest over the life of the loan. Okay, if rates are falling, it may be best to wait until the last possible moment before locking in, till the interest rates are at the lowest. Okay, 4.5, maybe 3.75, something like that. Annual percentage rates is also called APR. This percentage figure okay, includes interest plus points and closing costs and spreads them over the life of the loan. The APR gives you effective rate of interest, okay, and must be disclosed to you according to Federal Truth in Lending laws at the table. How to calculate loan points at different interest rates. The following table, which I'll provide for you, which is a monthly loan payment table, equal monthly payments in to amortize $1,000. Okay. Now, to use the table, find the loan on the left side, and then, okay, so for example, let's say the interest rate is 5%, 15-year mortgage would be $7.91, 20 years would be $6.60, and 30 years, wait a minute, 20 years, 30 years would be $5.37. Okay, the table shows how much you'll pay monthly, principal and interest. That's what that represents. Okay, for every $1,000 that you borrow. Okay, so if you have $100,000, if you have an interest rate of 5% and you have a 15-year mortgage, you're going to pay $791 times 1,000. How much is that? Okay. Okay. Now taxes, we just add about 3 zeros at the end and move the decimal point. Taxes and insurance payments are not included in these monthly payments. So you see, there's a lot of other monies that's going to have to come from you that are not included in the the table. So I just want to remind you again, my book talks about where you can get help for all of that. Okay, free money for home buyers. It's at AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. Okay. Now, the most popular mortgage is a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. Most people think you have to have a 30-year mortgage. But over a 30-year life of the loan mortgage, you're going to be paying that lender for a $100,000 house close to $500,000. That's why banks are in the business of making money, because they make money off of your money. Okay, and that money just floats around in different people's hands. It's interesting how the mortgages are bought and sold and what have you, and then you have jumbo mortgages. A lot of mortgages that are bought. I mean, people deal in mega money. You'd be surprised if you work for a bank. I've worked for a bank, and I have learned a lot about the money industry of it. But I like the real estate end of it, and I like the house portion. Selling a house, renting a house, property management. That's my thing. I'm not saying I'm not into the money, but I like collecting the money from real estate. Because real estate is pretty much, when you're dealing in money, you're exchanging money, that can be a little bit more mind-boggling. You know what I mean? I deal specifically in real estate. I make my money off of real estate, but I deal in real estate. So I can sit back chilling on the beach, getting the suntan on the palm of my hands and the palm of my feet while I'm still earning, while collecting my money. I don't have to be there behind the desk all the time. That's why I can work a full-time job and still do this on the side. That's why I say you got to have, God gave Adam 4 streams of provision. Why should your job be your only financial provision? Okay? I can teach you how to be an investor. If you don't want to move, you just want to invest, fine. That's fine too, because some people would rather invest. This way you have the money you need to buy what you need to get. You don't have to worry about your car being repossessed while you're sleeping at night, because they come quietly. I heard a lady that said her car was repossessed. I was getting a ride from her at work, and her car got repossessed. She said they came quietly. They didn't make no noise or nothing. She only saw the light came on, and she went down. Where are you taking my car? Okay. So now, shorter period makes you owe less interest. The length of your mortgage repayment period will directly impact your monthly mortgage payments. Okay. For the same mortgage principal amount, that you will find that the shorter the repayment period, the higher your monthly payment will be. But the total interest you pay over the life of the loan will be less. On the other hand, the longer your repayment period, the lower your monthly payment will be. But the total interest you pay over the life of the loan will be more. To see how the length of a repayment period affects both your mortgage payments and the total interest you pay over the life of the loan, okay, consider the chart on page 19, okay, which is the total interest paid at 7.5% over the life of a $100,000 loan. Okay, it shows the total lifetime interest payments on a $100,000 loan with 7.5% interest rate. You can easily see how much more total interest you pay when you stretch your payments over a longer period of time. As you can see, selecting a loan term involves striking a balance between how low you want your monthly mortgage payments to be versus how quickly you want and can afford to own your home debt-free. Okay, and the chart says, okay, for a home, let's say a home that's 315 years. Okay, you'll be able to read this chart when I provide it for you. I'm not sure if I can, let me see, your monthly payments. Okay, your monthly payment is $300 for a 15-year term. Okay, well, yeah, we'll read it together when we meet. Okay, now more frequent payments can make your final payoff date arrive sooner. Okay, but make sure there's not a prepayment penalty clause in your contract. Because if you pay it early and there's a prepayment penalty clause, you could be penalized for paying your mortgage off early. So make sure that's not in there. Again, free money for home buyers available on Highway to Heaven, AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. Okay. Now, in addition to the original term of the mortgage, your payment schedule can affect how quickly your loan gets paid. Some loans, they actually have it where you can pay twice a month. But most loans require that you make one payment a month, and that's 12 payments a year. However, you almost always have the option to make an additional principal payment that will shorten the amount of time it takes to fully repay the mortgage loan. But when you send that payment in, make sure you are specifying that this money is going towards principal, not interest. Because if you just send in a check, it's going to go towards interest. It's not going to go towards principal. Okay? Which means that it's not going to reduce your mortgage down if you send in an extra payment, or it's just going to put more money in their pocket by paying off the interest. So you're still going to have to wait that much longer before you can actually reduce any money on the principal. Okay? Now, in fact, most lenders have a place in the payment card marked additional principal payment. Okay? If you make just one extra monthly payment each year, you will pay off your mortgage years ahead of schedule and save a considerable amount of interest in your payments. If you want to set up more frequent payment schedule when you apply for a mortgage, you should know that some lenders offer bi-weekly payment plans that require payment every other week. Okay, or 26, sometimes 27 payments a year. You may find that making payments more often is better matched with your paychecks. It will also save you considerable amount of interest over the life of the loan and help you pay off your mortgage just that much faster. Okay, when you pay off your mortgage, what you get is a satisfaction of mortgage piece, and a lot of people, they have what they call a satisfaction of mortgage piece burning ceremony. Okay, what they do is they actually burn the mortgage document, the paper that says you have a mortgage, because now the deed says you and the bank owns the house while you're paying the mortgage. But when you get that satisfaction of mortgage piece, now the deed will say only you own the house. So you can burn that mortgage that has that certificate that has you can burn that certificate that has your name on it and the mortgage company's name. Okay, and only the one with your name on it is the one that'll actually be the one that'll last. Now it belongs to you, free and clear, and you can have a mortgage burning ceremony. Okay, if you've done the exercises in this guide, and we will do them again together, okay, and now you know how much you can afford and spend on the monthly mortgage payments. Remember, 28% of your gross monthly income, and you also know whether your present debts and projected housing costs are within a comfortable range, 36% of gross monthly income. You've compared your monthly housing allowance to the monthly loan payments for the mortgage amount you are thinking of borrowing. Okay, you've been able to do this by using the monthly loan payment table that we went over. Okay, and you will be using it again. You'll go get a copy of this book so that you can have it and you can refer back to it on a regular basis. Excuse me, this is part of the home buyer's kit that I offer. Okay, now this will help you with your mortgage loan. Okay. Now you've looked at the available assets and considered how much money you'll need to put aside for closing, moving, and settling in costs. Okay? How much of the remainder of these savings are you willing to spend on your down payment? Once you've made this decision, you can add your expected down payment to the maximum mortgage loan amount for which you hope to qualify. Excuse me. The total should be the maximum price you can comfortably afford to pay for your home. I got the hiccups suddenly. Once you know that maximum price, it's time to start shopping for the mortgage loan that's right for you. Let's move on to step 2 of this guide, selecting a mortgage that's right for you. Okay? Okay, there are a wide selection of mortgages available in today's market, and you should narrow the field. You should narrow the field by considering your particular situation. Your choice of mortgage will be influenced by questions such as: how many years do you expect to live in your new home? Okay, now you know if you get a grant, you're required to live in it for 10 years. So you can say, hey, I'm going to live in it for 10 years. After that, I'm selling. How important is it to be free of a mortgage debt before facing your children's college bills or planning for your retirement? How comfortable are you with the certainty of a fixed mortgage payment versus a payment that can change over time? Excuse me. If you expect to live in your home for many years, the interest rate of your loan may be your primary consideration. You may want a fixed rate mortgage that will ensure that your interest rate will remain the same for as long as you have your loan. If you decide that you like the stable predicament payments of a fixed rate loan, then you must choose from a variety of repayment terms. 15, 20, 30 years are the most common. Here are some points to consider to compare about various fixed rate loans. Okay, a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is the easiest fixed rate loan to qualify for. Its longer term gives you the best chance to keep monthly mortgage payments low and use extra cash for other purposes. A 20-year fixed rate mortgage amortizes principal and interest over 20 years, 10 years sooner than the traditional 30-year mortgage. It allows you the opportunity to own your home debt-free much more quickly. Yet the monthly payment is only somewhat higher than the 30-year mortgage loan. Now, a 15-year fixed rate mortgage offers a lower interest rate than the 30 or 20-year mortgage, and it will save you a significant amount of interest over the life of the loan. You will build up equity in your home quickly, which can allow you to move to a more expensive home sooner. If you're nearing retirement, this shorter term mortgage allows you to own your home just that much sooner. The benefits of a 15-year mortgage come with a price. Your monthly mortgage payments will be considerably higher than the 30-year mortgage. Okay, if you're confident that your income will increase steadily over the years, or if you plan to move in a few years and aren't concerned with potential rate increases, rate that move up, then you may want to consider an ARM, an adjustable rate mortgage. Although an ARM usually offers lower initial interest rate, your mortgage payments change periodically using once or twice a year. Interest rate changes typically are subject to two caps, one for each adjustment period and one for the life of the loan. Okay, for example, a typical ARM that adjusts annually may have a per adjustment cap of 2% and a lifetime cap of 6%. Okay, because ARMs often lower initial interest rates. Initial monthly payments will be lower, so you may be able to qualify for a larger mortgage amount. However, you will likely be required to come up with more than a 5% down payment. Okay, usually at least 10%. Of course, if interest rates go down, your payment will decrease as well. Some adjustable rate mortgages offer you the chance to convert it to a fixed loan for a fee, within a certain period of time, and that you want to find out before you get the mortgage. The interest changes on an adjustable rate mortgage and always tied to a financial index. A financial index is a readily publishable rate. For example, the financial index for many credit cards is the prime rate. The three most popular types of adjustable rate mortgages are Treasury indexed adjustable rate mortgages, CD indexed adjustable rate mortgages, and cost of funds indexed adjustable rate mortgages. A Treasury indexed ARM indexed to 6 months, 1 year, or 3-year Treasury bills or securities. Depending on which of these three indexes you choose, your interest rate will adjust once every 6 months, once a year, and once every 3 years. CD indexed ARMs, which adjust to a certificate of deposit index. Rate adjustments typically occur every 6 months with a per adjustment cap of 1% and a lifetime cap of 6%. Cost of funds indexed adjustable rate mortgages indexed to the actual cost a particular group of lending institutions pays to borrow money. Lenders using this index can adjust mortgage rates monthly. every 6 months or annually. The most popular index of this type is the Cost of Funds Index for the 11th Federal Home Loan Bank District of San Francisco. When comparing adjustable rate mortgages that have different indexes, you should look at how the index has performed recently. Okay? Some indexes are widely published in newspapers, making them easy to track. Mortgage lenders are required to provide you with information on how to track the index and to provide a 15-year history of the index they use. Remember, though, that past performance cannot predict future performance of the index or the direction your interest rate may go. Okay? Other types of ARMs. ARM with initial fixed period. You may wish to look at a special type of adjustment rate mortgage that doesn't adjust your interest rate until several years after you take out the loan. These loans offer you several years of fixed payments before there is an interest rate change. You can get 3, 5, 7, or 10-year fixed period adjustable rate mortgages. This means your interest rate would be the same for the first 3, 5, 7, or 10 years, and then at the end of the chosen fixed period, your interest rate would adjust every year. Okay, this type of adjustable rate mortgage protects you against rapid interest rate increases in the early years of your loan and help you to be able to stabilize your money a little bit better. Adjustable rate mortgages that adjust only once. This is the other type of adjustment, ARM. Okay, you can also choose an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, that adjusts just once. The first adjustment would happen at 5 or 7 years. After the initial adjustment, the mortgage maintains a fixed rate for the remaining 23 or 25 years of a 30-year mortgage loan. This type of adjustable rate mortgage, sometimes called a two-step, provides the benefit of initial low rates with the stability of longer-term financing. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, and it turns out that we will be concluding this with a 4-part series. We're going to be concluding it next week with the 4th part of choosing the mortgage is right for you. 3 of 4. This is the 3 of 4-part series. And I want to thank you for joining me today. This is very interesting, and I'm not expecting for you to absorb all of this while I'm telling it to you. Okay, but you will be given an opportunity, however, to have the book for yourself. Okay, like I said, I obtained a lot of these books from government, city, and state officials, and I have a pile of them. So what I do is I compile a lot of the books and I put them into one package, and I call it a home buyer's kit. So this way, each week when we talk about something, or the day that we talk about that item, will you bring that particular in, or we'll give that particular item to you, and then you take it home and you refer to it at your leisure. We'll put all the books in there together, and you will have what we call a home buyer's kit. Okay? And you'll have a compilation. We have some workbooks that we're going to be working with you in the class. I don't know how easy it's going to be to do over the television at you at home, but you're going to have the book also. If you're interested in signing up for the workshop, please email me at sblack3001@gmail.com, or go to my website at affordablehomesandapartments.com and sign up where it says Home Buyers Sign Up Here. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today and for sticking with me throughout these series for Real Estate, Religion, and You, which airs every Wednesday 6:30 to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. in the afternoon, right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20. And I want to thank you for joining me today. Please visit my YouTube address so that you can watch these videos as many times as you like to. Absolutely no charge to you.